with everybody around. So Matondo. Sister Chamine, the secrets of the mountain. Do tell us more. Sister Chamine, are you with me?
Yes, sorry about that. My mic was still muted. The secrets of the mountain.
Yes. You are in the mountain.
The one at the level of the earth.
Yes.
Yes. I was so in awe because when I read the book of Jubilees and I saw this, it was saying, Noah said, Shem, I give you this middle part, the middle. And when you look at the middle, it's from sub-Sahara Africa all the way down, he gave to Shem. And then he said, this is the marking that you would know, the navel. He said, these three mountains, Mount Zion, Mount Sinai, and they were in directive of each other. And one mountain was particular is Mount Kenya, is the only mountain that is on the equator.
Wow.
So he said, with that, you would know you're in close proximity with the Garden of Eden. So I keep on telling the people that I fellowship with and stuff, there is just something unique about Kenya. And then when I learned about the Kikuyus and them being the protectors of the Ark of the Covenant, and it is just so amazing. So the colonizers, what they did for us that are in the diaspora, they took our language from us. And as I said inside the other day, only language we know in the diaspora is English. In America, in the Caribbean, the only other country in the Caribbean, we only know English. Outside of, if they came from Mexico or Puerto Rico, they would know Spanish. Come from Brazil and those places, you know Spanish and stuff like that. Haiti, they speak French because they were colonized by the French. But America and the Bahamas and majority of the Caribbean was colonized by Britain. So they took our language, and one of the ways they also took our language by severing the tongues of our ancestors out, so they were not able to speak the language among themselves. So they cut their tongues out if they caught them speaking their native language. And so for you here inside Kenya, my mind was not on Kenya when I first was planning on coming home. But this was where he put in my spirit, in my heart. And as I started learning about Kenya, and he said, do you know Mount Kenya is Mount Zion? Even though people are not pointing us to Mount Kenya, because a lot has been hidden. A lot has been hidden. The Mzungus, the colonizers did a great job in causing us to be ignorant concerning ourselves and the mountain and the direction of the mountain. Even do you know that the mountain that's next to Mount Kenya, they call it Table Mountain also.
Wow.
They call it Table Mountain also. That is Table Mountain also. And the camp that is up there by Mount Kenya, they call that Camp Moses. Why Camp Moses? Could it be that mountain that Moses went up and got the 10 commandments from, or got his commandments and stuff? Could it be this wilderness here in Kenya? Because watch this. All of the animals migrate from Tanzania where? To Kenya. Why they migrate to Kenya and not migrate down south? They come to Kenya to give birth. The whales come to Kenya to give birth. And they stay, and then they migrate back. And these are the things that keeps me questioning, what is Kenya to you, Father? Reveal this land. Because remember, even when they talk about the Garden of Eden, he said it was eastward. It was eastward. So these are little nuggets that he keep on dropping in my spirit about here. And we know that Kenya was a part of Congo and all that before the colonization came. But there is still this area of Congo that is significant. Why do the Muzungus, why did Israel? Because before I came last year, Israel was trying to force Kenya to acknowledge them. Why?
I remember.
They were trying to, you see, why
Yes,
you,
and
why
they
you,
say we have, yes, with similar history and so, yes.
so, and then why the land that they said it was trying to take wasn't in Uganda? Pastor John, no, it was part of Kenya. It's the land that they wanted to take when they get pushed out of Germany. Why? Because if they did get to Kenya, they would have been able to, they would have been literally in the promised land for real. But now they got that fake land, so they cannot tie themselves to none of the history of the land because Most High did not allow them to be able to be here. So there is a lot to still research, and I'm like I said, I'm appreciative of all of you, and I'm watching, I'm reading, I'm paying attention to what you're saying in terms of the language, the Kikuyu language and the Swahili language and stuff like that. I'm paying attention. I am not the best when it comes to retaining languages, but I'm trying my best. I am trying my best to hold on to as little as I can and ask the Most High to please, like you did with Joseph. You give him 70 language in one night. Please just give me Swahili and Kikuyu. I'm only asking for 2. I'm asking for 70. I'm only asking for 2. But this land, Kenya is really rich. It's really rich in Bible history, in who we are as Bantus. Kenya holds a lot of the secret. That's why the owner of Captain of the Marvel Comics, he was here in the 50s. It was here where he got all of his inspiration for all of his comics, Superman, Superwoman, I mean, all of them, Spider-Man. You know, they had, oh goodness, there was another comic he did, but it was based on Kikuyu too. All the superpowers that they have, he came here to Kenya and he saw it. And so the colonizers, what they don't want us to know, and they continue to try not to get us to know who we are as Bantus, Muntu. They don't want us to know. Because if you really tap into your Muntu power, hey, listen, who the real Superman is.
We are Superman. We are Superman.
Who the real power. Who's the real Captain Marvel? You know, I don't know if you saw the movie Captain Marvel. It was a woman that when I saw that movie, I said, Father, that's us. We don't know who we are, but when she started to remember who she was, the fire, man, yes. The fire she operated, and this us. He didn't take back the gift from Judah. He didn't take it back from Asher. He didn't take it back from Nephilim. He did not. It's still in our blood. It's still in our blood.
True.
So I thank you once again, because I could get excited about sharing the things of the Most High and the revelation of Kenya. Kenya is the navel. That's what Jubilee says. It's the navel, the middle.
So
the middle of it all. Kenya is the center of it all.
Sister, wow. I love it when the spirit of Ubuntu, the fire, as you said, burns in us. Just to help us bring more into perspective before we go to Elder Lechanganye. See, you come from the Caribbean, who I have come to believe are our Levites, the priestly clans who are moved with the Benjamin, Judah taken to Americas and Brazil. So these are things you have grown up seeing, the voodoo mentality, a lot of power happening. So how does somebody coming into the Bantu truth distinguish between these practices? Because most people that are coming into this truth have the risk of being branded as being in a cult. In 3 minutes, if you can, kindly.
Let me try, in 3 minutes. Listen, there's a difference because we are led by one and Semi. So there's a clear demarcation. What is cult versus spiritual? We are spiritual beings. We are not religious folks. And when you look at voodoo, obe, and all those different practices, it is a religious practice. It is, but for us as Bantus coming into this truth, I know it's spiritual more so than it's an occult. Yes, I've been labeled as, oh, you must be crazy and you're gone part of an occult and stuff. But when I start to explain to them, Christianity is a cult.
True, it
then
is.
They back off. Then they back off because now you put question to their Christianity, then they realize that what they do every Sunday is repetitious, and you're also operating in the spirit of disobedience because Sunday is not the Sabbath. It's not the day of rest.
True.
And so for me, it was a clear demarcation, the difference between Christianity and this Bantu truth. This Bantu truth is spiritual. Let me just leave you with this one scripture that dropped in my spirit on, I think it was Tuesday when I was doing my broadcast. He said, no man come unless he is what? Drawn.
True.
No man can come into this Bantu awakening unless he's drawn by the Muan and Semi. Not anybody and everybody is coming into this awakening in spite of it.
Kembo na Tata Nzambi, Mpungu Tolendo, the mighty one of the Bantu, those that have the spirit of Ubuntu, the DNA of Abraham, Isaka, and Yakubi. That's a very interesting perspective, Elder Lekanganye. Sister Chamine, we've gotten from the Caribbean. You know, I wish we had somebody from the Afro-Asiatic and or the Honduras or any other place. We will have another perspective. Esther, sorry, forgive me, Nyambura the Bantu, I choose to call you that, has given us the Eastern European. Nyambura, the other Bantu, has given us the eastern coast of Kenya. So you, Elder Lekanganye, our resident theologian, because none of us here can claim theology under our belt. So bring it home. Bring it home. Very interesting ideas being brought here. The faking of the Bantu language, adding German elements of it, producing what we have as Yiddish. We have the curses being brought up. We have the blessings being brought up. We have a very interesting perspective from the Sister Chamine. So you bring it home for us, Elder Lekanganye, in 3 minutes, and then we can move to Nyambura the Bantu, because I feel she has been silenced, although she tells me she's a student of the way.
Allow me to comment on something Sister Chamine said, and I just, something that was dropped in my heart. Why did the Queen, the British Queen, come to Kenya and Mount Kenya, for that matter, before her coronation?
Mm-hmm.
Was it just a by the way, or it was some calculated move? Why did she come to Kenya prior to her being crowned as the Queen of Britain?
You know, they will say that her life was in danger. There was a war, but I know you smell mischief in this. Bring it out, Elder, as always.
I tend to feel maybe she wanted to tap into the spiritual power that is at the mountain. She wanted to take. She knew the significance of that mountain, and because of that, she wanted to tap into it. That is my take, and
interesting.
I don't know. Maybe
interesting. You should mention, because I have been to the lodge. She is said to have that is Castle Rock. The Castle Rock.
Castle Rock.
And you find its proximity to the mountain, the atmosphere. You know, I've also had the pleasure of going up the mountain with our sister Nyambura for its spirituality, and it's something we are encouraging everybody, you should take a hike up that mountain. You should go up that mountain. It is something spiritual. I see Sister Chamine nodding her head. I see Elder Lekanganye coming into agreement. And to you, sister from our eastern coast, perhaps tell us now, bring it home for us.
Wow. I'm really, really excited for today. Listening to you, Sister Chamine, I hope I haven't butchered your name, made me tear. I actually cried literally because of a few things you said about Kenyans, especially the Kikuyu people, the Kikuyu Bantus, that we should not only learn our language, but we should also take back our power. And I remembered actually, first time I heard about us being the children of Israel. I heard it from our Kikuyu elders. I'd gone for I don't know how we call this, Kikuyu tradition teachings. I'd gone there and they told us, you know what, you guys have been lied to by a white Jesus. And I was like, I don't think so, And then they told us that we are the Kikuyus are the children of Israel. And I was like, could be all the black people, not just Kikuyus. I was like, we love ourselves as Kikuyus. But then after I came into the awakening, I started really having too much deep interest in wanting to know my culture as Kikuyu, wanting to know my background as Kikuyu, to a point of visiting the mountain with my brother. And when we got there, we got lots of insights and lots of. I don't even know how to describe it, because we saw miracles. Those things that we call miracles. And I will not share it now, but the Most High literally spoke to us, and I literally saw the Most High doing wonders. And the people we were talking with, we're still talking with them, because we need to go back, and we want to go back to the part where they say the table of tablets are. We supposed to be a 4-day or 5 days hike, and we were waiting for Sister Vicky to give us a head with the people who are coming, and so we are supposed to go back there. And when you talk about it, Sister Chamine, you made me want to go back there, like even tomorrow, because something keeps calling me back there. Something keeps telling me, go back there. And truly, we are so many Bantus. Even in Kenya, we have so many Bantus. And I really, really wish that we awaken the people here, especially the people from the mountain, for them to get to know who really they are, because most of us still don't know. Most of them still don't know who they are. Yes, they know they're special, for sure. Most people know that they're special, even because of the way we've been treated here in our own country. Most people knows we are the children, especially those who keep the tradition. We are the children of Israel. They know that, but they don't know the depth of it, and they don't know, So, like I told you, John, when we first met, we need to wake these Kikuyu people up. We need to wake them up, because you know so many things about Kikuyu, as we're still learning our language and our culture, and we're doing it well, actually. So, my prayer is that we do so we take back our power as Bantu all over the world, because we are all the same. In the end, we are going to be one, both southern and northern. We are going to be one stick.
Kembo,
Ingeta.
So
bless you.
The message,
Bless you.
Thank you, my panel, as always. It's a pleasure. To our Bantu brothers within or without the continent, we leave you with this question in isiXhosa. Ungubani, who are you? Know thyself. Till next week, happy Samba Banabeto.
Ingeta.